Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your Celtic cross reading. I am not doing this at my usual time. Last week was quite hectic, and then I had an amazing opportunity over the weekend. So I like to do these a couple of days in advance, but this one I'm doing like less than 12 hours before it goes out on YouTube. So you're getting a really fresh snapshot of this moment in time. Okay. What do you have for my Sagittarius subscribers, please? What do you have for my Sagittarius subscribers and cross watchers, of course? Okay, let's get going. In your current situation, Sagittarius, we have the Lovers. I am a romantic at heart, so my heart always softens a little bit when I see this. So current situation, something to do with love. Okay. What is crossing? The Devil. Well. Okay, so we are going to go through and clarify. Let's see. What are my first impressions here? Honestly, what I'm getting is kind of like a Romeo and Juliet situation. Like, Romeo wasn't a bad kid, but because Juliet's family didn't like him, they certainly would have considered him devilish energy. So while the Devil is in the crossing position, I'm getting this as outside forces. There's someone or someone's in your life who don't approve of this connection. Influencing energy is Two of Swords, and you're not sure what to do about it. You're not sure whether to trust your intuition, trust this love relationship, or trust your community, whether it's a singular person or multiple people who are disapproving. Okay. Relevant past is Knight of Cups. So this might not be an established relationship, but it is definitely someone that you know already, and it is someone with whom you have already shared words of, if not love, at least affection and interest. And you've spoken to other people about your feelings. And that's why we get the indecision, the Two of Swords, and then the Devil. Exiting energy is Ten of Cups. This could be a situation where this is, you've gone through a breakup, that person is in the past, you've met a new person, but your community still prefers the ex, and they want you to have this Ten of Cups relationship with whomever this past person is, but you've moved on. In the immediate future is the Chariot. So I do see you taking action, probably action towards love. So that leads me to believe that this Two of Swords is not a truthful Two of Swords, a truthful indecision. You know what you want to do, but maybe you're afraid to admit it to others. Maybe you're even afraid to admit it to yourself. But you do know what you want to do, and I see you doing that in the immediate future. Taking action. Okay. And your strengths is the Wheel of Fate. And what I'm drawn to on this card is the two characters. When I think of the Wheel of Fate, the Wheel of Fortune, I was getting that card a lot a few years ago, and so I spent a lot of time meditating on that, what it meant for myself. And what came to mind was the idea that if I can find my personal center, then it doesn't matter what's going on in the chaos around me. And so what I see in this card is you and this other person, this lover's connection, finding your center together. And in that centeredness together, being somewhat immune to the chaos that other people cause. Sorry, I was pausing because I think this is relevant, but I don't know how to explain it. I'm reading this book called Sand Talk, How Indigenous Thinking Can Save the World. I just think of like the two of us together, what's coming to mind. What does he say? Us two, I think, is the at least Australian Aboriginal pronoun, first person pronoun. That's, I don't, it's not precisely translatable. But I'm getting you two really coming together. And this is in your strengths. So again, I don't, even though this is the influencing energy, that's kind of a false energy. Whomever it is that doesn't approve of this relationship, it must be somebody that you really respect. You respect them enough to at least put on the illusion of considering their thoughts and perspectives, but in your heart, you've already made the choice. In your environment, Sagittarius, we get 7 of Wands. So holding your ground, deciding what your values are, possibly a little bit of defensiveness. I can see that for sure in this situation, defensiveness. Integrity. What does it mean to have boundaries with integrity? In a lot of these conversations, especially like TikTok conversations or Twitter conversations where people are talking about how to enforce boundaries and have boundaries, like if you listen to those conversations, they don't feel, to me, they don't feel good like being on either side. And so to me, those are boundaries that are missing integrity. We don't have to be nice when we're enforcing our boundaries, but I do think we should try to be kind when enforcing our boundaries. And that's something that I see you exploring right now. And I think that actually might be where this indecision comes from. What does integrity look like to you? And how does that look when in the context of enforcing boundaries? I feel like I just repeated myself a lot, but I hope that made sense. And your hopes and fears is the Fool. For some reason, I feel like I've been seeing this on this side of the table a lot for like all signs. And even in the hopes and fears. Wanting a new beginning, hoping for a new beginning. But new beginnings mean that we're going to be facing a lot of unknowns. And that can be a little bit scary. And your outcome is the Hermit. So I don't see this resolving immediately. You're still in a time of contemplation. And honestly, that makes sense. I mean, thinking about integrity, thinking about boundaries, thinking about kindness and relationships, those are all really big concepts. And it seems, Sagittarius, like you're trying to, I don't want to say make a lot of people happy. I don't think that you're trying to make people happy per se, but I do think that you're trying to be respectful of how you approach situations. And then at the bottom of the deck, influencing everything, we have Temperance. Balance. Yep. Balance of you and I, us and them, integrity and boundaries. Kinship. What is kinship? Interesting. All right. Tell me why the Lovers is here for Sagittarius, please. Why is the Lovers here in Sagittarius's current situation? I'm sure that you know why it's there. But I want some clarification. The World. And 10 of Wands. With 5 of Wands at the bottom of the deck. The 10 of Wands and the 5 of Wands certainly makes sense given the larger context of what's on the table. It must certainly feel like a burden to be dealing with this kind of combative energy, carrying the weight of so many people's expectations, wants, and desires that seem to be directed towards you. The World card showing up. So clearly a cycle is ending. The question is, has it already ended? Or is it in the process of ending? And what exactly is ending? I think that ties back to this 10 of Cups and the exiting energy. A past relationship. I have a friend who is getting a divorce. It's been a really long, drawn-out process. And she is dating currently. And her family still says to her, when are you getting back with so-and-so? And she's like, I'm not. And they just won't take her seriously. So the cycle has ended. You know the cycle has ended. But people are not acknowledging it. People in your life are not acknowledging it. And that's causing a burden. And the Devil. Tell me about the Devil. Why is the Devil here, please? For Sagittarius. Why is the Devil here? I think it's easier for us to change than it is for other people to accept that we've changed. The Devil is clarified by the Star. And King of Wands with Queen of Swords at the bottom. And then under that, 5 of Wands showing up again. Interestingly, when the Five of Wands was at the bottom, clarifying the Lovers. 10 of Cups was under that. And 10 of Pentacles is under it now. So I do see, like, on the other side of this conflict, happiness. So I'm seeing you represented, Sagittarius, as the Queen of Swords, Mother of Swords, having to be this truth sayer. And I keep trying to use the word integrity in a different way. Like, how do you are telling the truth with integrity. That's not how I want to say it. I feel like I want to invent a word for some reason. And the person you're dealing with is a King of Wands, a passionate, visionary person. So we have a king and a queen. There's hope between you. Between you, there's the star. The two of you, us two, view this relationship, this love relationship, as a star, and other people around you view it as the devil. Okay, let's keep going. We're looking at the Two of Swords and the influencing energy. Two of Swords can also be a crossroads, right? It's not just indecision. It is indecision about like which road to take. Someone in your life might have given you an ultimatum. It's the King of Wands or us. It's the King of Wands or me. But the two of you are already deeply bonded. Two of Swords is clarified by Five of Wands. So yeah, this is definitely to do with that combative energy that we've seen showing up twice already. Third time actually on the table. And then Queen of Swords. And strength. Yeah. Everything I just said. And then all of the inner strength and fortitude that it takes to stand by your convictions. Again, I just keep getting the feeling that whomever is at the root of this conflict is somebody that you care about. And you don't want to lose that relationship. And so I don't want to say that you're making things harder than they need to be, but you're definitely accepting this burden now in hopes that you can maintain this relationship, whether it's a familial relationship or a friendship. You don't want to have to choose between your King of Wands and this other person. But if you do have to choose, you're choosing love. Okay, for now, we're going to keep going. I don't see the character of the person that who's disapproving. I just see kind of the energy around it, the backlash. We'll see if they show up. Knight of Cups is clarified by Six of Wands. This is the relevant past. and balance showing up again, with the Fool showing up. This person, this King of Wands, makes you feel balanced. Maybe there's a balance of, whether it's same sex or however it's distributed, the balance of masculine and feminine energy is there. That's something that you like about this relationship. You like the way that it makes you feel. You like the way that you balance each other. And maybe you met some kind of public event, bar, concert, book signing, I don't know. Possibly one of you was in the spotlight. One of you might have been the speaker or the host. It might have even been that this person that you're in conflict with took you to this new thing for you. Maybe you've never, I don't know why I keep getting stuck on book signing. Maybe you've never been to a book signing and your friend took you, and so we see this new beginning card showing up. It could be anything, but I am getting the feeling of just kind of a crowd. Yeah. Exiting energy, we have the Ten of Cups. I think for some of you, I think that you met the King of Wands when you were in another relationship. That doesn't mean that you cheated. I think they came on your radar. Before you were single. Okay, the Ten of Cups is clarified by Judgment. Five of Pentacles. And Queen of Cups. Your past relationship, the one that you left behind, there was a lot of love in it. That wasn't the issue. But there was a lot of love, but there was a disconnect. Maybe your values were different. There was a lot of love, but you just couldn't, I don't know how long you were together, but you just couldn't keep moving forward together. So there was some kind of disconnect between you and the past person. And you might have tried to make it work for a long time, but eventually you had to let it go. I don't know if it was mutual or not, but there was definitely, a big ending. So I do think it was probably somebody that, for an ending of that size, probably was somebody that you were with for a fair amount of time. In the immediate future, we have the Chariot. The Chariot is also a card of balance. This Chariot has 2 cats driving, and they have to be, you know, of a mind in order to go in the right direction. The Chariot is clarified by 4 of Wands, King of Swords, and 3 of Cups. Yep, I see you moving in the direction of the King of Wands, but in the love relationship, very positive things. But with the King of Wands transforming and to show his aspects as the King of Swords, I don't think that your problems with the world outside of your relationship are going to be over. That being said, it does look like you have a counterpart who is up to the task of being a true partner. That's great. Like somebody who has your back. Maybe they show you their passionate side. But to the outside world, they're going to be your defender. Wheel of Fate is in your strengths. Why is the Wheel of Fate here? Why is the Wheel of Fate here in Sagittarius' strengths? We get this clarified by the Hermit. So the Hermit also showed up in your outcome, and now it's showing up in your strengths. 4 of Cups. And interesting, the Devil showed up again. So your strength is to be able to disconnect from all of the chaos, find your center, and tap into your inner guidance. At least in this situation, you're definitely connected to what feels true and right to you. With the Devil showing up again at the bottom of the deck, I almost am feeling like a defiant energy here. I don't know if it started this way, but I think it's getting to the point that the more that you're in conflict, I wish we had something to call this person, but the more that you're in conflict with this outside person, like the more determined you are actually to see things through, like possibly to the point that it's becoming an obsession. So, you know, be careful of that. Make sure that your relationship is, I mean, it certainly has the foundation of starting with love. Make sure you keep it there. Make sure that it doesn't become, that your relationship doesn't become a battlegrounds with other people. Okay, 7 of Wands. Why is the 7 of Wands here? 7 of Wands for Sagittarius. Okay, we get the 8 of Wands, 6 of Cups, and then the Lovers showing up again. So there's not any no contact situation happening right now. You're in contact with the King of Wands. You're in contact with this person on the outside of your relationship, and so there's a lot of communication happening right now. Maybe not pleasant conversation, but there's a lot of conversation going on. Root systems intermingling, you and the King of Wands, you and your community. But this conflict is creating like a sickness or an illness in the root system. And you're trying to fix that as opposed to like transplant to a different root system. And again, I mean, you're not leaving this connection behind. You'll leave your whole entire forest behind before you leave this person behind. So even though we have the Four of Wands, which is a card of commitment, even though we have that showing up in the future, it feels like in your heart there's already a deep commitment. Hopes and fears, the Fool, the Fool, the Fool. That was an interesting cut. The Emperor and Five of Swords. Eight of Cups. Yeah, I just more confirmation. You see the person who first showed up as the Devil, then showed up as the King of Wands and the King of Swords. You see this person as a very balanced masculine energy that you want to have a new beginning with. And you're afraid of what that means. You might have to sever from, what you might have to leave behind. Is everything going to be broken? You're not sure. And I mean, that makes sense because you're not the only person in this equation. And we never know how other people are going to react because everybody has free will. And so that worry is weighing heavily. The Hermit is in your outcome. Why is the Hermit here? Tell me about the Hermit, please. Why is the Hermit here for Sagittarius? Nine of Wands. Justice. Nine of Cups. Honestly, I just see like more of the same. I see you seeking your inner guidance. I see you seeking that wish fulfillment, that Nine of Cups with your lover. But I also still see that resilient energy. So having that resilient energy shows that no matter either it could be resilience in trying to maintain this exterior relationship, or it could be the resilience needed to move on from it. But we do have Justice showing up. So, people have to reap what they sow. Okay, let's do 3 cards and a bottom card, advice from the universe. Can I get some advice for Sagittarius, please? What advice do you have for my Sagittarius subscribers, please? What advice do you have for Sagittarius? All right, we get Page of Pentacles first. Stay grounded, focus on what you want, take small steps. Page of Swords, 2 pages, sorry, I'm just surprised. Stay curious, keep communication lines open. But again, it's a Page of Swords, so like keeping communication lines open is not the same thing as constantly being the initiator. And 3 of Wands. That's a card of waiting and planning. I guess like keeping your eye on the prize. Focusing on the new instead of the old. And then at the bottom of the deck is 3 of Cups. Another card of communication, also celebration. Seek joy. We had, 5 of Wands, 5 of Swords, 9 of Wands, 10 of Wands. Lots of cards of conflict. So be mindful of staying focused on the positive, practicing gratitude for the good things and the lessons from the bad things. One final card. One final card for Sagittarius. One last card. This is the Woodland Wardens deck. Mostly I love this deck. I don't always include this caveat, but then it's usually when I don't include the caveat that the message that I don't love comes out. So I say it. I'll say it. The Lizard and Pitcher Plant, stagnation. Hermit energy, Hanged Man energy, these energies of pause, they can turn to stagnation if we're not careful. But let's see what the book has. The carnivorous pitcher plant traps its prey within its leaves. The lizard, which may occasionally find itself ensnared in a pitcher plant's trap, has come to represent death and resurrection, as it possesses the unique ability to drop its tail when stuck. A new tail can grow in the old one's place, though. It is never quite the same as the original. You may be feeling stuck, frozen in place, or without an escape. Reflect on the lizard's ability to shed and regrow its tail. There may be things in your life you can leave behind, making way for new growth. And the question, what could I drop in order to feel like I'm moving forward again? Well, I dropped this card right when I said drop. How's that for synchronicity? What could I drop in order to feel like I'm moving forward again? And for some reason, this is reminding me of some writing that I have done. I'm a potter. And I wrote about my relationship with clay. Let me see if I can find what I wrote, because it's talking about how, like, the pitcher plant or the lizard loses his tail, grows a new one, but it's never like quite the same. Let me see if I can find what I wrote. I also have a newsletter, which is, I just recently shared this in my newsletter. I talk about women's lore, myth, history, magic, I don't know, anything related to like women's herstory. So I'm just going to read you 2 paragraphs talking about transformation. Actually, I'm just going to read you the final paragraph. I think that's the most relevant. When finally I fire a piece, be it sculpture, plate, or bowl, in the kiln, it is transformed from malleable mud into something solid. It is transformed, and the process is such that it can never go back to what it was. It might transform again. Perhaps something that I intended to be a bowl is used as a vase, but it will never be mud again. As I investigate these questions of embodiment, I feel myself transforming. Sometimes it occurs to me that I can never go back to who I was. I will continue becoming, but I will never again be who I was. I am changed forever. And that's what that card reminded me of. And if we don't embrace inevitable change, then we can find stagnation. Anyways, Sagittarius, I hope that was helpful. I see real life on the table, good and bad, love and hardship. So I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you next time.